Monster three-way transfer incoming. Tielemans delays contract talks. Conte close to Spurs. Euro preparations continue, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Fodek, here with the OneFootballers, and this is the Daily News. First up, and according to Gazzetta dello Sport, there is a huge three-way transfer incoming involving some of the biggest players and the biggest clubs this summer, and I'm not quite sure I believe all of it. Let's pick this one apart. So the first part of the deal is that Real Madrid will be bringing in Kylian and Mbappe. That is going to be extraordinarily expensive. Real Madrid, of course, got rid of Zinedine Zidane last week. Well, he actually decided to leave the club, and they've brought in former manager Carlo Ancelotti, like we mentioned yesterday. Ancelotti, in his first press conference, said that the likes of Marcelo, Gareth Bale, and Eden Hazard still have a future at the club, and some of the players that were there when he was here a few years ago still have a rather fond place in his memory, and they may still be given a chance. But on top of all of this, if Real Madrid are going to go ahead and sign Kylian Mbappe, they're going to need to pay a lot of money, and maybe some deadwood will have to be sold around the squad. Of course, on top of this, there's also the case of PSG actually willing to let Kylian Mbappe go, but at the moment he hasn't signed a new contract and runs out next summer. They don't want to lose him on a free, like I've mentioned a million times before, so maybe they'll be willing to talk to Real Madrid. The flip side of this, I say the flip side, the second part in this three-way transfer is that once Mbappe is left PSG, they will be replacing him with Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, it was well documented that he would probably be looking to leave Juventus if they didn't make the Champions League at the end of the Serie A season, but they did. They just managed to do it on the final day. Having said that, rumours still persist that the Portuguese forward is looking to leave the club, and maybe PSG could be his next project. They'll definitely have the money for him. They'll have the money to pay Juventus. They'll have the money to pay Cristiano Ronaldo's wages. And it's another division in which he can conquer and add to his ever-expanding list of trophies, records, and a ridiculous amount of goals. That one could actually be potentially happening. And the third one on this list is that once they've sold Mbappe, once they've brought in Cristiano Ronaldo to replace him, PSG will be selling Mauro Icardi back to Serie A and to Juventus. Of course, if Juve lose Cristiano Ronaldo, they'll probably want a striker to go ahead and replace him. They do have Alvaro Morata at the moment, and it looks like they will be extending his loan deal to the next season as well. So on top of this, do they need Icardi? I think they will do. If they get rid of Cristiano Ronaldo, they're getting rid of the ridiculous amount of goals per season, and they will need someone to step in and bag them instead. Of course, Icardi had a few brilliant years with Inter Milan, finding the back of the net regularly, so you can assume that if he moves to Juventus, he'll probably end up doing the same. Of course, that is a whole lot of ifs and buts. I'm not saying that any of them will happen. It's just a bit of news that's flying around. And on top of this, there is another rumour involving Liverpool and Leicester, and that is in the deal concerning Youri Tielemans. Now, of course, the man who scored that fantastic FA Cup goal against Chelsea to win Leicester the FA Cup trophy is a hot prospect. I say that he's a hot prospect for many transfers because he is already a world-class player. Can I put him in that category? I think after the last few seasons, yes, most definitely. He, of course, will be away with Belgium this summer for the Euros. And apparently, the midfielder has said he is going to delay contract talks until after the Euros and see where his future lies. Obviously, at the moment, Leicester are doing very well, even though they missed out on Champions League football, but Tielemans will want to play in Europe's biggest competition. He's got a very, very good relationship with manager Brendan Rodgers, who is staying at Leicester. They are progressing as a club, but, and here's the big but, Liverpool were interested. Of course, this is going to be very, very difficult for any player to turn down, especially when Liverpool could potentially offer Tielemans a spot in the starting 11. Gino Wijnaldum is leaving after so many years at the club and looks like he'll be heading to Barcelona on a free transfer, so Liverpool will need to go ahead and replace him. In the rest of their midfield, they do have some other good options in other areas, and when it comes to replacing Wijnaldum, Curtis Jones from the academy looks like a brilliant prospect, but the thought of bringing in Tielemans, who is so good and still has so much room to grow, surely will be one too good to turn down for Liverpool. As for whether or not Leicester will let him go, that's going to be very, very difficult. They paid 40 million for him a few years ago, so they're definitely going to want a bit more with a player whose contract currently runs until 2023. Next up then, we spoke yesterday about whether or not Mauricio Pochettino would be leaving PSG to rejoin Spurs, but at the moment, it looks like Antonio Conte is the front runner. Yesterday, it was reported that between Antonio Conte's entourage and Tottenham, there were a lot more talks. In fact, they've reached an advanced stage. Of course, Conte isn't going to sign the contract until he has quite a few guarantees from the Spurs. A few of them are apparently being more control over transfers, over the squad, and a long-term contract for a long-term project. Alongside this, Paratici, the former sporting director at Juventus, has also been offered a job to take over at Tottenham as well. And those two working together like they did at Juve could potentially bring a good spell for Spurs. Of course, if Conte does come in, there will be loads of rumours about who he will potentially sign first in North London. And one of the names on those lists, he's been linked with Spurs, regardless of who the manager is. It's Joachim Andersen, the Lyon defender who was on loan at Fulham last season. Next up then, we move on to the European Championship preparations that were continuing last night. For England, there was a 1-0 victory over Austria. Bukayo Saka got the goal, but the bad story of the evening is that Trent Alexander-Arnold hobbled off with an injury late on. Gareth Southgate thinks that the problem is in his thigh, and they're going to have to wait a few days before assessing the situation. Of course, for so many right-backs being picked in the England squad, it doesn't actually matter that one of them is injured, but of course, it's not exactly great for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and well, the game wasn't exactly a massive spectacle either. Elsewhere, and Karim Benzema is back in the France squad. He's back on the pitch, and he actually missed a penalty for Wales. That was after Nico Williams got sent off for Wales, and it meant that they had to play most of the game down to 10 men, and they ended up losing 3-0. Elsewhere in Scotland, almost beat Netherlands in what would have been a shock result as they warm up for their group alongside England, Croatia and the Czech Republic, although Memphis Depay's late free kick saw them draw 2-2. And with Thomas Müller and Mats Hummels back in the Germany squad, they managed a 1-1 draw against Denmark. Finally then, we come to a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer and just other news that you might have missed. Romelu Lukaku has said that he will be staying at Inter Milan despite a load of transfer rumours. Former Benfica manager Bruno Lage is set to become the new Wolves manager. Ronald Koeman looks like he'll be staying on for at least one more season at Barcelona, and Liverpool backup goalkeeper Adrian is close to signing a new one-year deal, despite the fact that over the summer, Loris Karius will be returning to the club. So that's all from me then for today. Make sure you check out everything else we got going on at OneFootball, and until next time, I will see you guys later.